Hey, hey, sugar. There we go. My webcam was not working. But hello, everyone. Hey. I'm also gonna just have Insta Live up so I can tell people to come over to Twitch for our celebration stream. So today we are celebrating 200K Dino Nuggets on Instagram. Thank you guys. I'm so excited that we keep building our community together, and I don't know, I love you guys. I love what we're building. I love what we've already built. You guys are so cool. I love talking about dinosaurs with you. You're funny. You're awesome. Thanks for following me on Twitch. Brick loves bricks. Ada ada. I'm guessing you like Legos. But yeah, so we are celebrating Pride the 2nd. Thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada ada. And if you guys don't know, you can find me on Twitch under the same name. It's just Reisuka with the underscore at the end. Okay. Now, let me pull up Insta Live. See what's going on here. The dinosaur shaped pancakes. I don't think I've ever had one of those, but it sounds good. Hi, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Hi, Bob. Hi, Sly Daxter. Hey, guys. Hey, Darth Hefe. Thank you, Sugar Booger. A zombie penguin. Is that Pen Pen? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sako. How are you guys doing today? Thank you guys. All you guys on Instagram, I'm just hopping on here to say, come over to Twitch because I am celebrating 200K Dino Nuggets on Instagram today. So come over to Twitch. I'm still Reisuka over there, but just with the underscore at the end. And the link is in my story if you're on Insta. So yeah, come over to Twitch. I see a Warhammer in the chat, a Warhammer fan. Thank you, Hunter, for following me. Thank you, Brick Loves Bricks. Hi, AJ. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being a part of this. Yeah, I don't really have anything. This was kind of unexpected. I didn't really think it was gonna happen overnight. I just looked at my phone like last night and I think I had 193K. Thanks for following me on Twitch, Senchido Gamer. Ada ada. And yeah, then I woke up this morning and I had like 202K or something. So I don't have something planned, but that's okay because we can just talk and hang out. We can always talk dinosaurs. I have plenty of dinosaurs behind me, so we have enough to play with, I think. But yeah. Harsh U996, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada ada. But luckily I'm streaming today, so we can celebrate that way. For next time I stream, I did download an emulator to play some Pokemon mods on, so that should be fun though. Hey guys, if you guys aren't on my Twitch yet, go over to my Twitch. It's Reisuka with an underscore at the end. Dino Dex. How long have I been a Godzilla fan? I feel like that's a hard question. I mean, I've known about Godzilla like my whole life. So forever. I definitely got into it more like over the past few years when I was like getting into more thinking about how it related to dinosaurs in more detail. But I mean, I've always loved like Godzilla and anime. Dragon Blade, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ara ara. Will I stream Jurassic World Evolution 3? Yes, of course. I have to. I don't... Did it already come out? I'm not sure if it came out. But yeah, I will definitely stream Jurassic World Evolution 3. Final Fantasy. I've never actually played Final Fantasy before. How does it relate to dinosaurs? Well, if you head over to my YouTube, I have two full-length videos on what kind of dinosaur Godzilla is. So if you want to know more about that, you can head over there. Okay, I can show you guys my outfit I'm wearing today. Move my command center chair. Yes, Temu. Skims. So this is my outfit for today. I just showered, so my hair is kind of still wet. Yeah. Rig, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ara ara. Thanks, guys. Shell from Portal. But yeah, I do. The Pokemon mod I have ready for us for next time is called Crooked Crystal. Sounds pretty cool. Josh, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ara ara. Josh Illegal Geek. I think I know who you are. You like the Godzilla Dino Facts the best? Yeah, I do want to cover more kaijus. Also, I found out which Godzilla this is finally. Some of you guys already figured it out, but it is the 1991 Godzilla behind me. So, yeah, and I just rewatched that the other week. It's a fun movie. I like that one. And I also love, because I love King Ghidorah. I think King Ghidorah is so cool. I want, like, a King Ghidorah model, too. Shy Asuka, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ara ara, I love your username. And I also love Asuka. Shane Bako, thank you for following me on Twitch. Thanks. Yes, I just set up this new backdrop a couple weeks ago. The Vanessa videos, I have not made Vanessa videos in a while, but maybe when FNAF 2 comes out. Yeah, the time travel in the 91 Godzilla, it is crazy. Sussy Imposter, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ara ara. Okay, thanks for coming, AJ. Yes, I will stream Jurassic World Evolution 3 in the future. Do not worry. You have Yellow and Crystal on your 3DS. That's cool. That's cool. I played Pokemon Yellow and Crystal and Gold and all that on a real life Game Boy Color. A magenta Game Boy Color with a little purple squiggly light that you had to plug in by USB. But yeah, so I'm excited to play Pokemon with you guys. It's one of my favorite games of all time, is like the old Game Boy Color Pokemon games. The tank top I got from Temu, and then the necklace I got, this was like I'm forgetting her name right now, but I got it from like a local artist that was like, had a pop-up tent at a music festival. But yeah, her stuff is really cool. She also made these. I will try to find her next time so I can shout her out because I have her card somewhere. And she made these rings too. But I like them because if you look closely, they are like the Masato cross. See? So for my Ava people, you understand. There we go. And then the earrings have the Masato cross. And yeah, I like it. Yeah, I have played Soul Silver and Heart Gold. I thought they were fine. I just like the originals better. I just kind of like that old like animation pixely style. I feel like it left more up to the imagination personally, and I love the music of it. Favorite dinosaur is Velociraptor and the bird-like dinosaurs, because I study how dinosaurs, like extinct dinosaurs, evolved into living birds. Your favorite game is Pokemon Red. You got it for Christmas. That's cool. Yeah, Gold was my first game. And then I couldn't really afford any other games at the time. So what I would do is like go to Blockbuster. And I think you could rent Game Boy Color games for like a few dollars. I want to say like $8. You could rent the game for a few weeks. So I rented like Yellow, and then Crystal, I think. So yeah, that's how I kind of got into playing all the Pokemon games. Pachycephalosaurus, that's a cool one. Thank you, Harshu. Do I like Perfect Blue? I love Perfect Blue. I did not see it's coming to theaters though. I will have to go see it in theaters. They named it after a Bulbasaur. Ooh. Okay, I'll definitely have to look that up. Thanks for letting me know about that, Darth Hefe. Thank you guys. And you guys on Instagram and TikTok, definitely come over to Twitch. I'm Reisuka with an underscore at the end. You can see more of my cool backdrop. You can see me in HD, in more HD. So come over to Twitch and celebrate with me, guys. But I will also be occasionally looking over to chat with you guys too. Silver. I think Silver is cool. I mean, I don't really understand the difference between the Silver character versus the Gold character. I think they're the same. I think the Pokemon are just different depending on the game. But yeah, I think they're a cool character. Tyrannus is so cool. I actually got to see it in person before. And it's really cool because it's literally covered in feathers. There's so many feathers fossilized around the skeleton of it. Hodo Power Skullboy 22. Thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada. To both of you. Adam Second Coming. Thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada. Are you an Evangelion fan? Your favorite Pokemon is Emerald. That is a cool one. I love Rayquaza. Mitzi. Kyber Kenshin, thank you for following on Twitch. Thank you guys. Ada, thank you, G. Hey Alejandro, how are you? I'm doing well. We're celebrating today. Celebrating 200,000 Dino Nuggets on Instagram. And 300,000 Dino Nuggets on TikTok. So, yeah, and we have, I think, almost 50,000 over on Twitter. We have 10,000 on Snapchat, 10,000 on Facebook, and 1.5. So, yeah, 1,500 on Twitch. So, we have over 500,000 Dino Nuggets now, guys. Over 500,000 Dino Nuggets. With the power of love and friendship and dinosaurs. And anime. Thank you. Let me see. CGT S6. Kyber Kenshin. I don't know if I already thanked you for following me on Twitch, but thank you both. Ada. Oh, I'm sorry you can't sleep, Alejandro. Thank you for coming, though. Carnotaurus has been your favorite. Yeah, Carnotaurus is really cool. I love doing videos on Carnotaurus. It's just a wild dinosaur. How is my spine? My spine is a lot better. Thank you for asking. I'm pretty much healed. I'm just like getting back into more intense exercise now. I'm building up strength. So yeah, I am back for good. Yes, Carnos are so cool. Houndoom is a really cool Pokemon. You're not good at Pokemon? I don't think you have to be really that good at Pokemon, honestly. I think the only skill that you really need to be good at Pokemon is the willingness to just like never give up and keep trying and keep catching Pokemon and keep leveling them up until you win. That's what it is. By the way, if you're on Twitch, you can see my cat Luke behind me. He likes to go sit in the corner over there. And you guys on TikTok and Insta, come over to Twitch if you haven't already. I'm Reisuka with the underscore over there. Hi, Mitch. Mitch6, thank you. I'm so glad you came over. Yes, you still have to get in the Ava, Shinji. Spino versus Giganotosaurus, who would win? Probably Giganotosaurus, just because, like, Spinosaurus is what we call a piscivore, meaning it mostly ate fish. So its bite force wasn't, like, super powerful compared to other carnivorous dinosaurs, like other meat-eating dinosaurs. And Giganotosaurus is more closely related to T-Rex, and T-Rex had the largest bite force of any animal, living or dead, other than Megalodon. So probably, yeah, Giganotosaurus is going to have like a really powerful bite that is not going to be matched by Spinosaurus. So that's why I say that Giganotosaurus would probably win. You saw Sinosauropteryx and Caudipteryx at Smithsonian. That's so cool. I've studied those in China before. Thanks, Sugar Booger. Thank you guys. Thanks, Darth Pepe. Did I ever play Dino Crisis? I have seen the videos. I have not played it yet, but yeah, maybe I can find an emulator because I would love to stream it. Yeah, Spinosaurus is one of my favorite dinosaurs as well. You caught a Porygon on Pokemon Go. Congrats. I have not played Pokemon Go in a long time. The next mukbang, I'm not sure yet, but maybe I'll do one again soon. But right now I've been focusing more on my dino videos. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Spinosaurus is always changing because we don't really have a complete Spinosaurus. Um, so whenever we find pieces of it, it's going to change, what we think about Spinosaurus and going to show us more of what it actually was. And so that's why we're always kind of updating Spinosaurus, but not just Spinosaurus, really, like that goes for any extinct animal. It's like whenever we find a new fossil of it or find out more information about it, it's probably going to change how we think about it. And that's exciting. That's cool, I think. Because then we get to see what this animal was really like. And good scientists admit when they're wrong and are willing to like change what their opinion is, or not even their opinion, but just, change their description of something and their ideas about something based on the evidence. So if the hard evidence changes, then yeah, we have to keep updating like the science and what we think about something based on the hard facts. Oh, thanks, Justin. I'm glad they love the dino shorts. Stone Cold, welcome. Thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada ada. You just saw the Troodon video. Yeah, Troodon is a funny little dino. Oh, I don't have a PlayStation yet. I am still clinging to my old Xbox for now. Thank you guys. Yes. Yeah, there's definitely like older dinosaurs from the 1800s and 1900s that we can CT scan now and get new information out of them. Sometimes we can like reconstruct their brains. We can reconstruct the shape of their inner ears, all of their blood vessels with new technology. So that's really cool. And yeah, there are actually so many fossils in museums that have never been looked at, or maybe they've been looked at like a little bit and people have made notes on them, but they've never been published on. So yeah, it's like there's so many fossils that we still need to find that are out there in the world, but then there's like so much already collected in museums that doesn't have work done on it, that's waiting to be worked on. So yeah, definitely. There's definitely a lot of questions in paleontology and a lot of work left to do in paleontology. So don't, like when I was growing up, I used to think like, well, I guess they kind of answered all the questions about dinosaurs, right? Like we know what happened to the dinosaurs, right? They all died when the comet hit the Earth. Well, when I started to become a paleontologist, I realized that wasn't true. We still don't fully know why dinosaurs died or how they evolved into birds. And there's also just so many fossils that we don't have, no one has described. No one's written them up or named them. So many new species. And there's so many places we still need to go look for dinosaurs. So yeah, there's still a lot to do if you want to be a paleontologist or scientist in general. There is always more we can find out. And sadly, we can't find out everything about the world because that would be impossible. But that's also kind of the cool part, right? Our world is so endlessly complicated and fascinating. We can never know all about it. Ed Ryder, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada Ada. Yes, Antarctica. Flower Gold, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada Ada. So, yeah, people have looked for dinosaurs like in a lot of places. I think definitely like the southern hemisphere is not well explored. That's something that some paleontologists are starting to explore more. Like I've been to southern Chile to look for dinosaurs, and people have been looking in Antarctica for dinosaurs. Antarctica is a good place to look for dinosaurs, but it's really expensive, as you can imagine, to have all the equipment to be able to be safe there when you're looking for dinosaurs and like not freeze to death. So it's pretty expensive, and you have to deal with a lot of permits. And yeah, it's kind of difficult to get there. You can't just casually go to Antarctica. But, yeah. It's definitely one of the important places to search for dinosaurs in. Hey, DeAndre. Hey. What got me into dinosaurs? Well, I guess as a little girl, I always loved dinosaurs. Like my parents took me to the Natural History Museum in New York when I was growing up, and that's where I kind of first saw dinosaurs in real life. And I was just amazed at like how big they were, and I was just so amazed at the fact that these giant things walked the same planet that we're walking on now. And kind of around that same time, the first Jurassic Park came out. And as a kid, I really loved Jurassic Park, and that kind of brought the idea of what dinosaurs could be and what they were. That kind of brought that to life for me. So I've loved dinosaurs ever since I was a kid, and I've always wanted to get into science. And I was an artist as well, like a visual artist in college. So I kind of like always loved dinosaurs, started my career as an artist, then like started majoring in science and got my degrees, got my master's and PhD in paleontology and evolutionary biology, and became a paleontologist. So yeah, so I mean, but I've always loved both art and science so much. And now I'm really lucky because I get to do both, because I get to create content and talk about dinosaurs, and my content funds my dinosaur research. So now I get to have the best of both worlds. Hey, Nico, I'm doing well. How are you? Oh, well, the fighting dinosaurs are really cool. I think they actually are usually in Mongolia at the museum there. I saw them one time at the museum in New York on a traveling exhibit when I was little. Like, I don't know if they're back now. Are they? Is that what you guys are saying? Because if they're back now, I want to go see that. It doesn't look like they are right now. Thanks, Pokesaurus. Thank you, Jedi Jagger, for following me on Twitch. Ada, and Prepuka Rose. Ada. Thanks for following me, Nico Brick. Ada. Cryolophosaurus, yeah. A lot of the Antarctic specimens are really incredible. Like one of my favorite one is Vegavis, which is kind of a duck-like bird that was found right around the time when the dinosaurs went extinct. So yeah, it's crazy. We found like Cretaceous ducks basically in Antarctica. This Dino Rex and Pacing Panther, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada. Let me catch up on the chat. What got me into Evangelion? Actually, my brother recommended it to me and I loved it. Nos user, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada. You were doing a deep dive into pterosaurs. That's cool. I have published papers on mosasaurs, and I've published on mammals as well. I've studied mammals a lot, and human anatomy, of course. So yeah, definitely as a paleontologist, like I have a good handle on what we call comparative anatomy, which is like where you kind of know anatomy of all the different kinds of vertebrates. So like fish, mammals, lizards, birds, and that includes dinosaurs, of course. But yeah, most of my focus is kind of from Velociraptor and the bird-like dinos up through living birds, which are living dinosaurs, because I'm interested in figuring out what really happened to the dinosaurs. How did they evolve into birds? Because we still don't know the answer to that. But sometimes if there's like a really interesting or weird fossil, or I get the chance to collab with someone on a cool fossil and it's not, a dinosaur, I still think that could be really fun. But that's my main focus is the dinosaurs. Oh, you're an OG, Nico Brick. Thanks for coming. Thank you for subscribing, Perpuka Rose. Ada. You get an extra ada. Yes. Yeah, I definitely recommend the American Museum of Natural History. They have a beautiful dinosaur hall and amazing dioramas. Yes, Vegavis is a duck ancestor, basically. Sterling Mirage, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada. Favorite modern duck? I don't know. I love ducks. Any kind of duck. I love swans too. They are closely related to ducks. The swans, geese, and ducks, they're all closely related. They're all anseriforms. That's what we call them. Do I like candy corn? Not really. Do you guys? I don't really like it. I tried to like it. Like, I kind of like the sugar part of it because I love sugar. But something about it, I just don't want that much of it, Maniraptoran, yes. Yes, but I don't just focus on Maniraptoran dinosaurs, so it's because I'm interested in like how they changed from that into living birds. So I have to use kind of all of the different data available to me. So I have to use living bird skeletons and anatomy and Maniraptoran dinosaur anatomy and fossils that we have, and then everything in between that. Hey, Mega Chibi. Bryson Rich, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada ada. The common ancestor for all birds is, bird-like dinosaurs. So basically, Velociraptor, Archaeopteryx, those kind of things. We still don't know what the actual like common ancestor for birds is. We haven't found that fossil yet, but hopefully sometime in the future. Oh yeah, Nico Brick, you said, yeah, I feel like I do remember you. I remember you. Do what still exist? Dinosaurs? Or, yes, dinosaurs still exist. Every bird that you see alive today is a dinosaur. Like when you're eating chicken nuggets, you are eating dinosaur meat. Yeah, Gastornis. So there's kind of two types of Gastornis. There's, it's an old name that's kind of not valid anymore, but there's Diatryma, which is the more herbivorous terror bird that, that you're mentioning, I think. And then the rest of the Gastornis fossils that we have seem to indicate that those terror birds were, kind of more closely related to like Seriamas, the kind of birds that eat snakes. And they're more like scavengers and carnivorous birds. How am I? I'm doing pretty well, Mega Chibi. How about you? Mm-hmm. Which one was the largest flyer? Quetzalcoatlus, definitely. Yeah, Diatryma is the invalid one, is what I was saying. But Gastornis is still, it's still not great because Diatryma is the only complete one we have, but it's different from Gastornis because it's the only like herbivorous one. And then the problem with Gastornis is all of the fossils we have for it are pretty fragmented. So yeah, really that genus needs to be redone. Yes, penguins are dinosaurs. Pen-Pen's a dinosaur. Thanks, Mega Chibi. How would Spinosaurus react to a human punching them? I mean, I think it would just start trying to eat you. Get a free, easy meal out of it. Thanks for coming, Mitch6. Thank you. And if you guys are on TikTok or Instagram, please come over to Twitch. You can see Godzilla over here. You can see more dinos over here. I'm Reisuka with an underscore at the end. How do I feel about the concept that any animals evolved from fish are fish And so by extension, humans are also fish. Well, yes, technically we are all fish because you can't evolve out of a clade or a group of animals phylogenetically. You can't evolve out of a group. So technically we're all fish. But yeah, that's something that like my professors used to always say and joke about. It's one of those things where it's like, yes, it's technically true because we evolved from fish. But it's also like, if we use that logic, then we're also all a blob because we all had to come from one common ancestral life form too, right? So you could really use it for like any part of the tree. But I think it's kind of funny sometimes. Although I just like heard it so many times from my professors, I'm kind of like, eh. I've heard that one before. Hi, Mallow. Oh, it's not a dumb question. But yeah, I think most carnivorous dinosaurs, if a human was punching them, they would definitely like just try to snap you up. So they would probably be kind of desperate for a meal. Hey guys. Oh, okay. I guess on TikTok, sorry, I forgot to change the description, but yeah, I was building the Godzilla thing last week. This week I'm just celebrating 200K on Instagram. 200K Dino Nuggets. Uh yeah. But we might build more of the model in the future. Hey guys. Utah raptor is really cool. I've seen a lot of Utah raptor fossils. It's like Utah raptor is kind of like what the Jurassic World velociraptors would be in real life. Because the Jurassic World velociraptors are a lot bigger than the real velociraptor. Real velociraptor would be like the size of a house cat, like Luke behind me. So, yeah. Utah raptor is more like the size of the actual Jurassic World, Jurassic Park velociraptors. I'm glad you like the Mazada videos. Sauroposeidon versus Argentinosaurus. I think Argentinosaurus is not the largest. I'm not sure. I would have to double check that. I'm not a Titanosaur expert. I think, yeah, it's Patagotitan is the largest. But Argentinosaurus might have been heavier. Robot Brontosaurus? That's so cool. Yes, so true, Darth Hefe. So many of the biggest sauropods we only have like a few vertebrae from them or a leg bone, and then we have to calculate out what the rest would look like. So when you go to a museum, a lot of the bones that you see on display are usually like calculated and 3D printed or created. And then that's what we use to fill it in to like create a dinosaur you can actually see. But if you look hard, you can see the real bone versus the fake bone. The real bone's kind of shinier. It has more detail on it. It's usually like kind of cracked. And it has it's kind of like a hard, flat surface. Whereas if you look closely at kind of the fake portion of the skeleton, it's usually matte, not shiny, doesn't have a lot of detail, and that's where they've used like clay or plaster or whatever other materials to create the rest of the skeleton to create a complete dinosaur. Because most dinosaurs that we find in the field and that we study are not going to be complete. What dinosaur would I cosplay as? I feel like it'd be fun to cosplay as like velociraptors, something with feathers for sure. Oh yeah, I'll have to look it up on YouTube. Oh, also Sammy Theth, Squid Steak, and it won't show me the last person. Bryson Rich, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada ada. How accurate were the dinosaurs from all the Jurassic Park movies? It kind of depends on the dino. Therizinosaurus is pretty accurate. T-Rex is maybe one of the least accurate in terms of its abilities, but overall, like, looked pretty good, except it should have feathers, of course. But yeah, I have a lot of short videos about all of the different dinosaurs and how they were different in the movies. And I will definitely be doing more. Dreadnoughtus, yeah. Dreadnoughtus is also one of the largest titanosaurs. The king of dinosaurs, that's funny. I could be the queen of dinosaurs. Are there any cool dinosaurs in America? Yes. Well, of course, T-Rex, Triceratops, Quetzalcoatlus, and Acrocanthosaurus, which I just posted a video on, which is basically the American Spinosaurus. Are we any closer to actually bringing dinosaurs back? So people have tried. Jack Horner's lab did like they created what they call a Chickenosaurus, basically, and a couple other labs have done this. I'm forgetting their names right now, but anyway, basically what we have been able to do is take a chicken and genetically modify it to, you know, make the genes basically express traits that were older, that kind of existed in the chicken's ancestral lineage. So kind of more primitive traits. So they've been able to create chickens that, for example, have teeth or have a longer tail. So eventually, I don't think they've like actually created a chicken that fully looks like a dinosaur yet. But they were able to create chickens that had like a snout with teeth and longer tails. So that's kind of the closest we could get to, you know, creating Jurassic Park, is we would have to genetically modify already existing birds, which wouldn't really make them dinosaurs. It would just be like, we're taking birds and then we're manipulating their genes to show some traits that used to be present in their past evolutions. But it's not like, so yeah, I don't think it could happen. Or if it does, it's going to be like, we have the equivalent of a bunch of little compies running around or something. Because they're not going to be able to just like create extinct dinosaurs from living birds. Yeah, so no one has actually been able to de-extinct anything, despite what you might read. Betsy is staring at me. I'm glad she's watching the stream. But yeah, the reason that we can't bring dinosaurs back to life like they show in Jurassic Park is because DNA is not preserved for that long. So theoretically, we could bring back woolly mammoths or the dire wolf, although even that is really questionable and we're not really sure if that's possible because those things, became extinct thousands of years ago. So they're not fully fossilized. They haven't fully turned to rock. So there's still some living molecules in those specimens that we could use. But the problem is like the DNA from those is so fragmented, it's just not very likely that we could create a whole organism, a whole living animal from that. The company that claims to have resurrected the direwolf actually just created like domestic dogs based on the genetic sequence of a direwolf. So that's not actually like de-extinction. They didn't actually bring a direwolf back to life. They just made a domestic dog look like a direwolf externally. Um, so yeah, we can't even really do that. And it would also require that cloning works on things that are not really domestic animals. So that probably won't work. So it's just like, there are a lot of issues. And then on top of that, with dinosaurs, there's just like absolutely no way because with extinct dinosaurs anyway, because like they went extinct millions and millions of years ago, 66 million years ago. And their fossils are completely made up of rock. Like all of their bones, all of the bacteria, all the little cells in those fossils have been replaced by rock at this point. So we can't get DNA or actual living molecules out of them like they show, sadly. We can't just stick a needle into the mosquito and get DNA out. Yeah, we could only time travel if we really want to see the extinct dinosaurs. That's the only way. Um, yeah, I think there are definitely many more problems that we need to focus on that are much more pressing and urgent than trying to de-extinct animals that already went extinct thousands of years ago. So you can genetically modify the spiders, but it's not really, it's kind of the same thing with the chicken. Like, if you genetically modify an animal to look like something, that's more like the equivalent of what we do with dogs and cats. Like, you're kind of making a breed look a certain way by manipulating the genes. Um, so you're not really creating, you didn't really de extinct that species. You made something that looks like that species on the outside, but it's not genetically like that species. It doesn't think like that species. It doesn't behave like that species. It might not even eat the same things as that species. Um, and it probably can't reproduce and keep evolving. Kylo Dabs, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada and Downpa Welko. Thank you guys. If I could have a dinosaur for a pet, oh, Panachosaurus would be a great pet. But if I could have a dinosaur for a pet, I mean, I would like to have a velociraptor so I could also study it. I'd have to come up with something to put over his big claw though. something to protect me. No, it's not possible for dinosaur DNA to be preserved in the Arctic because, like, when something is fossilized, it's completely replaced with rock. So it looks like the living thing, uh, because rock has, like, infilled it, um, replaced all of the parts of it. And so there are no actual living molecules, or there's no like actual bone collagen left. It's all like rock that has replaced the skeleton and all the little cells and all the feathers. And so we can see what it looked like on the outside. We can even see like what the outside of molecules may have looked like under a really heavy duty microscope, like a scanning electron microscope, but we can't see, but they're not living anymore because they've been replaced with rock. So we can't see like what the biology of them would have been beyond a certain point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how much a raptor could bond to you. So it would be kind of scary to have as a pet. Yes, we have a lot of dino people here today. Welcome. Welcome, Dino Nuggets. You're in the right place. Dinosaurs warm blooded. Yes, some dinosaurs were definitely warm blooded, especially the ones that are more closely related to birds. We think they had faster metabolisms and were warm blooded, and some sauropods or long necked dinosaurs were probably warm blooded as well. Um, but not all of them maybe were like things like Triceratops or the large kind of herbivorous dinosaurs, other than sauropods. They might have been cold blooded. That's like, we still don't fully know what the deal is with that or what their metabolism was like. But we know that some dinosaurs were definitely warm blooded. Fossils of dinosaur skin. So yeah, those are really rare. I love when we find soft tissue or like feathers. Usually you have to like be in an environment where the particles of the sand or whatever is fossilizing these things is really fine grained. And it has to be fossilized in a place that's not like super turbulent. So there can't be like a super turbulent ocean or, white water rapids going over this fossil while it's fossilizing. Like, it needs to be a lake is really the best place for fossils to form because the water is pretty still, and then the fossils can kind of like be on the bottom of the lake and not be disturbed. But yeah, so soft tissue is really great because it can teach us a lot about the biology of extinct animals, but it is super rare and it's really hard to prepare out of the rock. Like, sometimes it can be just kind of taken away by the tools that we use to get the fossil out of the rock. So we're actually still figuring out like what the best methods are for preserving soft tissue. By soft tissue, I mean like anything that's not a bone, anything that's not a skeleton. By the way, guys, on TikTok and Instagram, come over to Twitch if you haven't already. I'm Raysuka with the underscore over there. Yes, I have a silly Ray plushie. I need to put her up. Big Bad Bean Man, thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada Ada. and Trumpet Nerd, Pit Steelers 64, and Dampa Welko, Ada Ada. In case I didn't thank you already. Thank you for coming, Pip Happy Man. How many Sauroposeidon fossils are around? I am not sure. I would have to go look that up. You came from TikTok. Thank you. Anytime, Kylo Dabs. Revy versus Mazzato, who would win a drinking contest? I want to say Revy just because Mazzato can drink a lot, but she mostly drinks beer, and Revy drinks liquor, and liquor is way more intense. My favorite dinosaur, I love so many. But I guess I would have to say like Velociraptor or Utah Raptor, because that was kind of the dinosaur that made me obsessed with dinosaurs when I was little. And then also like Apatosaurus and the long neck dinosaurs too. What about you guys? What's your favorite dinosaur? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Colossal to try to make a dinosaur, but they can't actually de-extinct a dinosaur, so I think that's why they're choosing the dodo instead. And if they're able to de-extinct the dodo, I mean, that would be interesting from a scientific standpoint. I think personally the DNA is probably too fragmentary for it to actually be possible. But you know, if this time they really did it, that would be like a huge innovation for genetics and paleontology and biology, but we'll see. They do. Nanotyrannus. Well, I actually agree that Nanotyrannus is a different dinosaur. It has over 100 different, has over 100 features that are anatomically different. So I don't think it's just a juvenile. I actually have a whole video about it, a little short video, but yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Don't worry. But, and anyway, there's no stupid questions here because paleontology and dinosaurs and science in general, like all of it is super complicated. And it's so complicated that even like scientists like me with their PhD and their masters are still arguing over like what we think is the right way to interpret the data, you know? So there are no dumb questions and there's always more to learn, so I don't like to take a judgmental approach to science or be like, oh, this person's asking a dumb question. Like, no, you should be allowed to learn. You should be allowed to ask dumb questions. Like, how are you going to know if you don't ask? You shouldn't be afraid of asking questions. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of science, right? Have I ever dug up a raptor? I've dug up parts of a raptor. I've dug up like teeth and toe bones. Yes, crows are very smart dinosaurs. Your favorite is Pachycephalosaurus. That's awesome. 12-hour arc shift. Congrats. The Pokesaurus. Thank you for following me on Twitch. Ada Ada. Also, Macria at High Noon. Thank you for following me on Twitch also. Ada Ada. Yes. Go back and look for it. Maybe I'll try to repost it because I don't think I've posted it in a while actually. Really? Well, that's surprising. I'm sorry that they were rude to you. But you have the okay from a real life paleontologist. Nanotyrannus is a real dinosaur. And that's coming from a real paleontologist with a PhD. So don't mess with my dino nuggets. Don't you dare bully my dino nuggets. If you bully my dino nuggets, I will hear about it. And I will protect them, okay? So I love you guys. It's bad juju to go against my dino nuggets. Because they got dino mommy to protect them. There are no stupid questions, just stupid people. Well, the stupid people are the people who judge other people for asking a question and being curious and brave enough to ask the question or to try to find different solutions to things. We need to encourage innovation, you know? We need to encourage curiosity. We need to encourage asking questions. Raptorex. Now that one I would have to double check. I'm not sure about that one. My favorite cringe fake dinosaur fact from Jurassic Park. I think the funniest one is like the fact that T-Rex, you know, they say, oh, T-Rex, it can't see you if you don't move a muscle. Like, but that is so not true. Birds, they have incredible vision and, you know, bird-like dinosaurs, and T-Rex, which is part of the group that evolved into birds, of course would have had great vision, and we've been able to reconstruct the brain of T-Rex and see that it definitely had great vision and it could still see you even if you're standing still. So yeah, that fact was definitely wrong, but it definitely makes the movie fun. I get why they added it, and in real life, there's no way that people would survive being close to a T-Rex like that. So they had to kind of like nerf T-Rex a little bit, a lot bit for Jurassic Park. And if you guys want to know more about how they nerfed it, I have a lot of videos on that. Hi, Charlie. Thank you for coming. Prince Edward Island. That's awesome. How scientists decide what the outside of a dinosaur looks like? You mean the color or like the musculature and kind of the shape of the dinosaur and everything? That's based on all of the evidence we can find, like fossilized soft tissue, fossilized skeletons, computer modeling. But when it comes to color, there are a few dinosaurs that we can tell like what the color was. But you have to have some kind of soft tissue preserved, some kind of skin preserved. So it's super rare. I think we only know the color of like 3 extinct dinosaurs. There's like an ankylosaur that had reddish skin. And then we know that Microraptor was covered in iridescent black feathers. And then we know that Kai Hong was a bird-like dinosaur that had iridescent black feathers all over except for its neck where it had kind of like a rainbow color. Like a literal like the Roy G. Biv, like all the colors of the rainbow going down its neck. So that's cool. Those are the only three I can think of off the top of my head. There might be a couple others, but yeah, it's super rare. Favorite ceratopsian? I love Styracosaurus. It doesn't bother me that dinosaurs have feathers. We know that dinosaurs have feathers based on fossils. Like you can literally see the feathers on Tyrannus, which is closely related to T Rex, and you can see the feathers on these different like fossilized bird-like dinosaurs that I've studied. So, I mean, I think it's not, when there's like hard evidence for something, then it's not like a matter of opinion anymore. Like if there are feathers literally in front of your face on the fossil, it's like you can't be like, oh well, I don't like that, so I'm just gonna say there's no feathers there. It's like you kind of have to take it into consideration and be like, okay, so they had feathers. Well, what does that mean? Um, and that's really important for being a good scientist. You have to look at the real facts and not just go after what you think the fact should be. You have to base your decisions and what you're talking about and your theories and hypotheses on the hard evidence. You have a sadness for dinosaurs, Jay Hill. I don't think that's silly. I've definitely felt that a lot before. I think, especially because I've studied a lot of fossils, and the fossils I study, they're super rare and they're very delicate, and they take a lot of time to kind of pick apart what they are. So sometimes I'll work on one fossil. I mean, I'm working on multiple fossils at all times, but sometimes I won't finish writing a paper on a fossil for a few years because these are really complicated fossils that like take a lot of knowledge to understand what they are and what happened to them, what their story is. So yeah, sometimes I'll think about the little fossil or bird or dinosaur I'm working on and just wonder what their life was like. And it's kind of a funny feeling. It's like I feel I sad for them that they died, but then it's like there's something beautiful about the fact that I'm a being from another species looking at the remains of this species from 66 million years ago or 30 million years ago, and my heart yearns for it. you know and I get to tell its story to the other beings of my species. Like there's something crazy and cool and beautiful about that. Is Dinomami a Myosaurus? Yeah, Myosaurs are known for being motherly dinosaurs, but I think I'm a little more vicious than a Myosaur. If I could go back and observe any individual dinosaur, what would it be? I would want to go and see what the ancestor of birds is, or what the true missing link animal is between dinosaurs and birds. Microraptor is a dinosaur with iridescent black feathers. You love dinosaurs? Well, you're in the right place. Have I named any dinosaurs? Yes. I have named a mosasaur and a bunch of dinosaurs. Hi, Dragon Ball Z and Sunny. Yeah, Microraptor, yeah, pretty much it would look like a four-winged raven, more like a grackle. Like, if you've seen a grackle, they have super iridescent feathers. Which dinosaur could be domesticated? It would probably have to be something small, like an herbivore, like Psittacosaurus, maybe. Maybe if you had one compy. What do I think about a Margosaurus? A Margosaurus is really cool. Actually, the Titanosaurs, like in the new Jurassic World movie, they're more like giant Amargosaurs because they have the sails on their tail and on their neck. And the sails are something that we've only seen in Amargosaurs. So the size of a familiar, yes. Yeah, Microraptor, it's about this big. So like, a small cat, a super small cat, like yeah, Chihuahua size, exactly. Do I play D&D? I have not tried it yet, but I want to. Um, but right now I play Warhammer and what else? I've been doing a lot of Gunpla models. There's a good boy in the chat. You're all good boys. Oh, thank you. I didn't thank the other followers. Thank you, J Hillsoph, Mango Fruits, Dado Mortis. Thank you guys for following me on Twitch. Ada Ada. Yes, there should be more dino themed anime. You are correct. True. That's so true, John. The smallest one, yeah, it used to be Compia, and now it's something else. I always forget. I'm gonna double check it for you, but it's Oculodentavis. But the problem with Oculodentavis is that it's probably a lizard and not a dinosaur. Um, so yeah, it's a little questionable. There are a lot of dinosaurs that need to be looked at more closely. Yeah, I would say like Warhammer is definitely complicated, but you can start small. Like you can start by like painting your army and playing like smaller games. Like you can do like short, smaller versions of the games to get started, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. I don't pretend to have all the rules memorized. And then you can like expand and get into it as much as you want from there. So, and like most people in the Warhammer community are super welcoming. My PhD research, which is still my research now, is figuring out how extinct dinosaurs evolved into living birds. But that is a huge puzzle. That's probably going to take my whole lifetime or beyond my lifetime to figure out. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of papers, a lot of dinosaurs and fossils to name, a lot of evolutionary trees to construct. My favorite Triassic oddity. There's so many. I should probably do, yeah, some videos on Triassic oddities. That'd be fun. Would I get a dino tattoo? Maybe. I don't have one yet, surprisingly. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I think I'm gonna go in a couple minutes here, but I wanted to hop on and celebrate with you guys, celebrate our community. I love our community because I don't know, I just think the coolest thing about our community, in my opinion, like, of course we all love dinosaurs, which is fun, but to me the coolest thing is like getting to be ourselves without, feeling ashamed of it. Having a safe space to be ourselves. That's why I've always wanted to build, and that's what you guys have built with me. So yeah, I love it, and I'm just so proud of it, and proud of you guys, and proud of us, and I feel so lucky to be like able to connect to all of you guys through the magic of the internet. And I love you guys so much. So thank you. If you haven't already, join the Discord. So we have watch parties, we have more community events and stuff on there. And yeah, and you know where to find me on the other platforms. But yeah, I'm excited to keep growing with our Dino Nuggets, building our Dino Nugget empire. Thank you guys. I love you. And I hope you have a great weekend. I'll be around. You know where to find me. And thank you, Scorpion King, for following me on Twitch. Ada ada. Good night, guys. I love you.